Here is how I would do the wall part of the lawn chairs photo in the masking assignment. So I didn't do any of the chairs yet. You can see I just have the background layer, but I'm just going to start with the wall. Now, because I know that I only want this part of the wall, like the part that's kind of like this yellow speckled rock look, what I'm going to do is take the rectangular marquee tool, and I'm just going to make a selection of that part of the wall. Just because I know it's going to get some of the chairs, I'm not worried about that right now. But this is at least going to isolate my mask for me, so that way it only affects just that part. Then I'm going to go down to my adjustment layer icon, and I'm going to choose levels. And then I'm going to take the slider and darken it. And it's going to darken the chairs too. I'm not worried about that. In fact, I'm going to darken it while including the chairs because that's going to help me see where I need to change the mask later. Okay, so if I look at my layers right now, I have my levels layer, and you can see how that darkened the wall. So I'm going to make sure that my mask is selected, and I can tell it's selected because it has the white around the corners. Okay, so and if it's not like that, if you have the circle part with the white around the corners, then just click on the mask. Now I'm going to take my brush tool. Up in my options bar, I'm going to make sure the mode is normal. I'm going to put the opacity at 100% and the flow at 100%, and my smoothing is usually turned off. I want to put black in my foreground. So if you don't have black in your foreground, you can hit this icon here, or you can hit the D key, and then you can hit this bent arrow or the X key. We'll do that. Okay, so my brush is way too big, so I'm going to make my brush smaller, so now you can see the size. And I want to make it have a harder edge, so looking at the edge, undo, and I right-clicked to get this. So maybe about 95% is good, and then size, that should be good. And then I'm just going to paint with black, so see how that's removing the darkness on it. What that's actually doing is, you can see I'll hold down option and click on my mask. That is just removing the levels layer from that part. Okay, and then you're gonna have to do it on all the chairs. So I'll come in and do it here. Okay, so I'm just painting, I'm just clicking and dragging. Okay, and then this one you're going to have to do a little bit more refined, so you're going to have a smaller brush and just kind of come in and paint it. Okay, so I'm just painting straight lines here. Well, mostly straight. And then paint down here, and then we don't want that. And then this, I'm making my brush a little bit smaller, and I'm just using the left square bracket key by the P key to do that. Right, and you'll have to come in and clean up these areas too. Right, so just kind of cleaning all that up now that I have a smaller brush. Painting, still painting with black. Get rid of that part that I missed. And I'll zoom in on this last chair over here just so you can see. So I'm hitting Command plus to do this. Okay, so again, black is in my foreground, and see how whenever I paint it's getting lighter. It's not actually getting lighter, it is just hiding the levels layer. Okay, so I'm gonna make my brush just a little bit bigger. And then see how I kind of went over the wall a little bit. I know you can't tell really, but if you just come over here and you hit this button to make white in your foreground, then you can paint that back in. Okay, and then I'll hit the button again to put black in my foreground. So black is going to hide. Black is going to hide that mask, and white is going to show. So white will show that layer, black will hide it. In the example image on the layers that I show, you might not be able to see all the detail because it's like a saved JPEG. So like the mask might just be like a solid block. But that just might be because the JPEG, like whenever you save images as a JPEG, which is what I had to do in order to put that on there, it kind of lowers the quality of the file. So come in and do that and clean that up. And that's actually what it should look like. So I'm going to option click. You can see I didn't even do like a perfect job on this. I gotta clean some of this up, but at least like that, those parts aren't dark where they shouldn't be. Okay, so that's pretty much how you would do it. And then you would call this darken wall, just like that. So I hope this helped. Please don't hesitate to send me an email and let me know if this didn't help.